to celebrate the release of Lady Layton and the revival of the Layton franchise.
Oh my goodness, you can customize her clothes.
I thought I would take a look at a more interesting piece in Layton's history. The anime movie, Professor Layton and the Eternal Diva. For those who don't know, the Professor Layton series is an interesting franchise, with visual novel storytelling elements, intermingled with puzzles to solve. This series overall is very charming, and has had some really fun games. Now it may have lost its way a few years ago, but it's back to proper video games with the release of Layton's Mystery Journey, Catriel and the Millionaire's Conspiracy. After the fourth game, an anime movie was released, titled Professor Layton and the Eternal Diva, made by anime studio PA Works, noted for their work on Shirobaka and...
Oh my goodness, it's a horse racing anime!
The movie starts out with, Luke telling us how much the game sold, and that we are in fact watching a Layton movie.
Selling 7.3 million copies to fans all over the world.
Fourth wall jokes are welcome, but it just sounds so weird coming from this little kid. Anyway, we find the Professor and Luke trapped in a locked room, and we instantly get the personalities of the two down pat for any newcomer. Layton is the calm, smart puzzle solver, who is always the gentleman, and Luke is his eager apprentice, who still has much to learn about the ways of being a gentleman. Also, the movie does a great job in like 2 minutes to show us the lives of these two, which is what a great movie should do. Fans can see how Layton actually earns some money because puzzles don't pay the bills, and we see actually why Luke comes around to Layton's house. So the opening just goes through how pretty much no one in London can solve big mysteries, and Layton is always there to save the day. We meet some familiar characters that you would know if you've played the first 3 games, but they aren't the focus as the movie takes place during the prequel trilogy through flashbacks. The actual overall mystery starts out like the games, where a person sends them a letter, not saying much, but just, "Come quickly and help me solve this creepy mystery." The two are invited to an opera, sung by Janice, this big old wide-eyed girl. If you look closely, you can maybe see the whites of her eyes. She is putting on an opera performance that is a dedication by the father to his deceased daughter, Melina, who was also Janice's friend.
They say it allows one musician to play music as rich as a whole orchestra.
Oh, that really is a marvelous invention, Layton. He just put the entire opera staff out of business. So we learn the reason Janice called them is that she met a small girl who claims to be her dead friend, Melina, and can prove it to her by telling her only things her friend could know. And that is how Luke, Layton, and their friend Emmy travel to the opera. Oh yeah, Emmy. She's the no-nonsense journalist that travels with the two in the prequels.
You'd better get used to this sort of thing if you want to be Professor Layton's second assistant.
Second assistant? Oh, I am not his second assistant.
Did I mention how much I like Emmy?
And I am his apprentice number 1.
Hey!
So the side plot to this is that there is an apparent secret to eternal life, as at the theatre they notice the opera borrows themes from the legend of Ambrosia, where it is said that the people had a sick queen. She died before they could give her the elixir to eternal life, and so the people drank it themselves to live forever, waiting for the queen to return. You know, just normal people things. The crowd, however, don't take too kindly to the opera. Instead, we're waiting for the main event, where it's revealed they are in a game with a chance to win the elixir.
All of you gathered here are going to play a little game. The rules are simple. The prize for the lucky winner? Eternal life. But those of you who lose will lose your lives.
Naturally, people don't take too kindly that their life is at stake and try to flee. Not to worry, Inspector Clamp Grosky is on the case.
Fear not, I am Inspector Grosky of the Yard. My finely honed investigation showed something suspicious would happen here in this theater tonight. And I am here to put a stop to it.
Did I mention how much I like him? I still stand by my statement.
Not even out of breath. Where is she?
Oh no, dude, watch out. Little girls with eerie music is always trouble in movies.
Have to go home.
See, I told you so. Oh yeah, the place is filled with sharks, but they are no match for our boy Grosky. Also, can I just say, the animation in this movie is stunning. I know anime movies get more production funds than TV shows, but still, it is amazing to see how beautiful the animation is. Even the scenery is breathtaking. But wait, dear Layton fans are asking, well I assume you are, isn't this a puzzle series? Where are the actual puzzles? And now, ingeniously, the announcer starts the first puzzle. It's even in the same font as the games. So they must find on the ship the oldest thing they can see. And they must do it before the catchy thinking music runs out. I really like how they don't actually let Layton just tell you the answer straight away. They allow for some build-up to allow the viewer to think of an answer. And so to you, what is the answer? Don't worry, take your time. Just kidding, we don't have any time left. The answer is the stars, as they are billions of years old. So everyone who went to the theater to look up at the sky moves on to the next puzzle, and the rest are then killed. Yep. Here they must find the biggest crown, and Luke, being the genius he is, he saw it on the front of the ship, where there was the word crown on it, and it was huge. Layton, however, has other plans.
Crown in the entrance is also a red herring.
Eh?
He knew after the first puzzle we would look for trick questions. He hoped once we'd seen the small crowns weren't the answer, we'd go to the entrance instead. But that is also a trick.
Oh yeah, Layton, you look so calm. You're just letting all those other people that Luke tricked die a horrible, horrible death. We find out that a few other individuals also made it out, and we learn about them on the rowboat out to sea. We got a chess champion, a movie star, an author, a sea captain, and a football star.
I thought your left leg looked familiar.
This is a kid's show, right? We then find out why they rowed the boat gently down the stream, to see that the entire ship is a crown. And as that's the right answer, the rowboats now whisk them away.
And hardly a hair out of place.
Okay, can we seriously have Grosky as the next president? Just look at this dude go, he's amazing! Although he seems to be having trouble staying out of the water. Meanwhile, we also see Emmy do some investigative reporting on what seems to be a missing girl who hasn't come home. Suspicious! Also, the cat is the same one from the first game. Oh, I love these cameos. She then gets help from the professor's friend, that dude with the beard, I forget his name, while a news bulletin reports that, oh, those passengers that were killed? Nah, they're fine, they're all good. I mean, did you really expect them to die? So she rushes out and manages to pick up Grosky, who is still fighting the good fight. Oh my, and cover your eyes, Emmy. You too, RamZaes, you're too young for this. Meanwhile, we see the winners now arrive at an island on what seems to be the ruins of Ambrosia. And they eat food? Okay then. Luke tries to befriend the serial push people off ledges girl, but she vanishes, and all of a sudden, wolves attack, which leads them to their next puzzle, where they must cross the river, and of course, Layton is miles ahead of the pack. Well, not that pack. The pack of wolves, I mean. And being the genius gentleman he is, Layton saves the three by hand building a helicopter thing? Don't worry, all the vehicles in this series seem to defy physics.
I'm somewhere. Hang on tight. But not to the pilot.
Okay, I don't know why, that was so hilarious. And so they meet up with a few others who survived, and on to the next puzzle. Luke solves it and away they go to the elixir. But Layton, as usual, being the ever quiet thinker he is, goes another way, where he then finds Melina's room.
You're the person I came to see, Melina.
Okay girl, you really gotta stop trying to push people off things. It's not very nice.
You mustn't interfere.
Where?
What?
You mustn't interfere.
Layton calms her down with some music, and her focus shifts away from them. I'm sure now he's worked out the answer to the whole mystery, while we haven't got our eyes on him. That's just how the games work too. You just let old Layton do his thing. So Luke and the others are trapped underground by the hilariously looking henchmen, and all hope seems lost.
This way. Right. I'll protect you from them, Janice. Look!
Oh, Luke, you brave little man. I will say the movie has probably my favourite version of Luke. He tries his darn best. Surprise! Emmy and big boy Grosky save the day.
Did I mention how much I like Emmy?
The goons, however, manage to kidnap the chess girl, and we see the creator of the opera, Melina's father, with John Driscoll, who is sort of the reoccurring villain in the prequel games. I actually liked how they handled him, plus all the reoccurring side characters. Even if you don't know who they are, there isn't really that much confusion to the viewer in this movie. He's just a baddie who hates Layton. So the dad wants to strap the chess girl up to the organ.
Wait! I don't want eternal life. I want to give it to my granddad. He only has a month to live.
I'm not crying. Anyway, won't someone save her?
Did I mention how much I like Emmy?
After foiling their plot, Layton does the old, everyone stand still while I reveal the mystery. So the organ here can actually transfer human memories. Yep, it's one of those Layton games, the ones bordering on the mystical storytelling. So after losing his daughter Melina, the dad tried to transfer her memories to many other girls, but it never worked out, which is why he invited the smart chess girl. As for the death game, well, Driscoll is a jerk, I guess. Janice is actually host to Melina's memories, and she is actually the one who is trying to stop her dad going loopy by bringing Professor Layton. And now back to the B-plot, where Driscoll reveals his true intentions, was that he wanted to get Janice, or should I say Melina, to sing that song that Layton played earlier, as with his organ, it should revive the ruined city of Ambrosia. Oh yeah, you remember that city, you didn't forget, didn't you? But of course it doesn't work. He goes mad and creates a giant mech, and it's up to Luke and Layton to save Melina.
Professor, I have to do something. After all, I want to be a true gentleman.
After muttering the magic word of gentleman, Luke goes to save her. And it's another beautifully animated scene. Layton also chips in with the trademark fencing fight of the games. And of course there's still some great animation. Layton, being the genius he is, reveals that the true answer to the song, you have to turn it upside down. Yep, that's the answer. Ambrosia comes to the surface, but it's still a ruin. So I don't know, Driscoll, what were you expecting to find there, dude? And so Driscoll falls to his death, and the mech is destroyed. All that's left is a very sad ending, as Melina leaves her friend's body and everything is back to normal. And that was Professor Layton and the Eternal Diva. Probably my favourite video game anime of them all. Even though the plot wasn't as deep as some of the games, I mean the last 40% of the movie occurs after the reveal of the final mystery. It still has so much charm and has beautiful music and amazing animation. If you liked any of the Layton games, at one point in your life, this is a must-see movie. And even if you haven't played them, it still doesn't confuse the viewers, and would be a perfect movie for all ages. And with the return of Layton back to the forefront of gaming, I actually hope they might consider making more movies. There's still so many stories they could do with this beloved cast of characters. And anyway, that's it from me. I'll see you, yes you, on the next video. Also vote Grosky for president.